We now have Coach Lane Kiffin with us. Coach, you want to have an opening statement?
Yeah, exciting day for Ole Miss, for the players, for the fans. That's a really good team that we played, a team that, won 9 games, had one of the best defenses statistically in the country. I think they were best in negative plays in the ACC, creating those, and very well coached. So I think our guys talked a lot over the course of the month, especially the last week, of making a statement, feeling they were left out of the playoffs, and so they really wanted to make a statement against an ACC team that had 2 teams in the playoffs, and a team that they looked at it that had taken SMU to overtime, I think. So proud of the way that they played. They really, we screwed up with the fake field goal early, but outside of that, just completely dominated a 9-win team on offense and defense in the game. So that was great to see. I do apologize. I told Manny at the end, Jackson's touchdown pass to Jordan, that was just those 2 guys. I actually tried to take Jackson out, if you saw earlier, and he refused to go out, which says a lot about him. But he and Jordan came up with that play on their own, and he was supposed to hand the ball off. So I didn't like that part, but the rest of the day was a really big statement about these guys. Not just how good of a team they are, 10 wins, and all 10 wins I think are double-digit wins. I don't think many people are able to say that. But, these are games that a lot of teams struggle to show up for. Players opt out, or even if they don't, you've seen some teams that were really good teams, struggle in a non-playoff bowl game. So I was really pleased for our guys to show up. 8 o'clock start here. It was great to see.
All right, questions?
I know that I know you had no doubt that Jackson was going to play and play hard, but on his first play, did you really want him to take Alex Howard head on?
That's just who he is. Obviously, he doesn't listen very well because we subbed him out, if you noticed. Austin comes in and he just waves him off. So I think kind of when, it's kind of when the kids get a certain age, they don't listen to you as well. I feel like that was kind of the case today with his touchdown pass and running people over instead of sliding and then not coming out of the game. But he's awesome. I hope that, said at the beginning of the year, regardless of how wins and losses go, I hope that our fans appreciate this time frame of what's going on with Ole Miss football, but specifically this quarterback, and the all-time winningest quarterback, all-time most yards, and that's special. Played football a long time with some really good quarterbacks. So just really hope everybody appreciate what they saw statistically in the play, but what they saw from a competitor and leader that a lot of guys wouldn't even played in the game.
Right.
Lane, your team kind of returned to a bygone era of college football with guys opting into the game rather than opting out. What do you have to say about guys like Jackson and JJ and Jared, some of the ones who built the foundation of this team that you're building, and them not only playing, but what they've done throughout the course of their time at Ole Miss?
Yeah, I think it was amazing, statement of what they did, because you had some guys that have been here a while, like you mentioned, Ivy and JJ and Jackson and some others that even Bentley had talked about preparing for the draft. So you had a lot of, but they had been here a while. Then you have newer guys like Walter Nolan, potential first-round pick, Princely, really high pick, that played. And I met with Walter at half and said, okay, now, you should come out now. And he still went and played in the first couple series of the second half. That just doesn't, like you said, I told them last night, you are an old school football team in that mentality. Like, you actually care about your team and your brothers in the locker room, and you're playing for them. And that doesn't happen very much anymore, unfortunately. I told them, I said, actually, that's how it always was. They didn't realize that.
Right.
Lane, this is your guys' third 10-win season in 4 years. It's just the 10th in Ole Miss history in the 100 and whatever years that it's been. What does that sort of history mean to you and what you guys have built here in just 5 years?
Well, I think that says a lot. I think it says a lot, too, because I don't. The SEC is so competitive now, and you got even newer teams in the SEC. Since way back then, probably four have come into just in the last year or so. It just says a lot about these players in this era to do that, and that says a lot about the commitment from the chancellor, from Keith when they hired us, and then continual commitment throughout that process. Not just okay, here's the job, but then we needed things. We needed things with facilities. We needed things with staff budget to be able to get coaches like we have and be able to get Pete Golding to come, and they've given us everything we've ever asked for.
Lane, you mentioned in the trophy presentation that you're just getting started, that you're building for next year, that kind of thing. You obviously lose a lot of not just players but leaders off of this team. How difficult will it be to build to replace those guys and to kind of build without taking a step back?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have been so confident if we hadn't done some of this before. I feel like when Matt Corral left, I feel like a lot of people kind of thought, well, here comes, we're going to have this downswing, and that was just kind of a Matt Corral thing. And in our team, I know we won 10 games, we won 11 the year before. That's 21 in 2 years. But our team this year was a better team. We lost 3-1 score games. Two of them we have the ball up by 4 with 2.5 minutes left and make a couple first downs and we win the game. And so the team before went 4-0 in 1 score games. So we were actually a better team as you look at now. You got 10 wins of double-digit wins. That doesn't happen very often with SEC teams and a good bowl team. So my point is we can keep getting better, just continuing to add players and add pieces and keeping our staff together too, which has been very critical. I think we said at the beginning of the year, I should remember this, you guys probably better remember me, I feel like this was the first year where all 3 coordinators, we were able to keep them. And maybe the whole time that we've been here. We've always lost 1 or 2 of them every year.
Lane, we've asked you so much about Jackson this year, but with respect to the future with Austin, I guess what do you hope Austin picks up on about Jackson with sitting under him, and how do you hope Jackson can rub off on who's next?
Yeah, when I say this team's like a family, it really is, because the way that they just played for each other. Again, you're playing in the second half of a blowout, and guys are going back in the game. And I'm not going to say which ones specifically, guys that we were told actually weren't team type of guys at their previous places. So to see that is such a family, like that the players here helped change the ones coming in. Then I look at like the family in the quarterback room, and then when you say that about Austin, I see like he had this big brother show him like every way to do every single thing right, except for making his own plays up at the end. But so that's so valuable. It's one thing just to learn how a guy works, but how he prepares, how he works, how he treats people, how he wins his team over. So Austin, that's a really awesome thing Austin got to experience.
That throw from Jackson where he was fading left and threw it 51 yards to Watkins, from our vantage point, it's pretty spectacular. Just how special is a throw like that?
Yeah, that really was an amazing throw, and he'd had a great couple weeks of practice. He was hurt. I don't remember exactly how many games, but then he was hurt with his ankle and wasn't the same. And he got hit pretty hard in that Florida game. It wasn't the same in the fourth quarter in that game, and then limped around kind of in the Egg Bowl. So him having a full month, being full strength, he showed how he played earlier before he got hurt. And again, we had some bad breaks this year, and the best receiver in the country wasn't even out there, just like he wasn't out there for, I think he played in 5 games. So, for Jackson to do that, set those records without not having him after 5.5 games or something is amazing.
In the back.
Lane, this whole year you could say has been deeply affected with your team, with the transfer portal adding all those guys, and then also Duke being down their top 2 quarterbacks. What are your overall thoughts on the transfer portal, and specifically, you had to add guys while you're also prepping for Duke in December. What are your overall thoughts on maybe the timing of that as well?
Yeah, I think it's, as I mentioned, a really broke system that's got to be fixed. And, to have portal, and we lost guys, going in the portal, a couple defensive starters, or a couple starters, that went in the portal that would have been in playing. So it kind of affected us as well as them, especially their quarterback situation. But that's why I was proud of our offense. That was a really good defense that caused a lot of problems that didn't have any opt-outs. So them not having their quarterback, didn't have anything to do with, whatever it was, 589 yards of offense. That was our offensive players playing really well against a really good defense with a tough scheme. So was really pleased by that.
Last two questions. Any other questions?
You mentioned all the yards of offense. 440 for Jackson tonight, 447. Where do you feel like this ranks as far as the games you've seen him play over the years? I mean, it's a pretty special way to go out.
Yeah, it really is. I feel like he did this similar game against Penn State, in the bowl game last year. I don't know if the stats were quite as large, but similar defense. It was Manny's defense at Penn State. And he made just a lot of great, really accurate throws. Players made plays for him. Trey was playing that day, but this was a really, really good game. He had the one kind of lateral called back that screwed up the one drive, but 27 of 35 for 404, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. It's pretty awesome.
Any other questions? Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys, thanks.
Comment?
It was us. We'll take the blame for that one. Me and Jackson just got a good connection, and sometimes, no matter what it is, we're going to compete. And then, whether it's a minute 30 left on the clock or whether it's, first play of the game, it doesn't matter. We're always trying to win, and, we got a good look, and we checked the play.
Yeah, we tell each other that if we're going to be out there, we're going to play football. And they pressed him.
Jackson, I just have one other question. You ran the ball, 10 or 11 times. I only saw you slide on the last one. The first play of the game, you take Alex Howard head on. Is that were you just determined to play the only way you know how in this game?
Yeah. I told my teammates, told my coaches, told my mom before the game that I'm going to leave everything I have on that field. So I play the game the way that I play it, and I don't really look into the future of whatever. I'm just there for the moment, and I'm going to compete.
Right.
Caleb Saylor, Super Talk. Both of you guys are elder statesmen on this team, and Lane referred to you guys as an old school football team when, across the landscape guys are opting out. Y'all opted into this game, and you said, Jackson, multiple times, it was a no-doubter. Why was it a no-doubter for y'all to play in this game, and what does it mean to ride out on top?
I think that we just put so much time and effort in the off season. Even just bringing in guys like Walter Nolan and Princely, and spending all that time with those guys in the off season. To go out and then not play in the last game, I think that would be almost a disappointment, not to just the fan base, but to us as players and how we are as people as well. Because I know like Jackson's not a quitter, neither am I, and I think that we have a lot of guys like that on the team who aren't quitters, and we're a group of brothers, and I think you really seen that because having pretty much all of our starters out there tonight was huge, and I think that goes to show the culture as well and the brotherhood that we've built here at Ole Miss.
Yeah, no doubt. I think you have a lot of pride when you play this game. You have a lot of pride that you carry when you wear this jersey, and everything that Oxford has. We feel like Oxford's given more to us than we can give to them. So you've heard Coach Kiffin say that, but we feel that way the same too, as being transfers. And I think for pretty much everybody, it wasn't like we had to convince anybody to play. Everybody was on the same page. You grow up as a little kid and you want to play college football, and when you're a kid, you never think about sitting out of a game. So that was never a thought.
Jake Thompson, Ole Miss Spirit on 3. Jordan, you've talked about the connection y'all have on the field. Just what is y'all's relationship? What's made it so special over these years between y'all two?
Man, it's crazy that you like really say that, him being a West Coast kid and then me being, just a kid from Kentucky. Who knew that, we'd get along so well. And but I think just really like the first time that we've really like met each other, I think we like really connected. And it's just been, going uphill since then. We hang out all the time, outside of the facility, whether it's, going to eat lunch or whether it's just playing pool or playing ping pong, whatever it is. I can definitely call this guy one of my best friends and, one of my brothers. And anything that I need from him, I know that he'll pick up. And I'll do the same for him. So it's been awesome to be able to play the last 3 seasons with him at quarterback. And, I think, that me and his relationship is just, a lifetime deal.
Neil McCready, Rivals.com. This is for both of you. You both are guys that transferred in and stayed multiple years. There's several of you guys in the program. I know this season you didn't quite get to where you wanted to go, but what do you think your legacy will be for this program moving forward?
Well, I think we definitely left it off in a better place than what we came in. I think for like the outside, like you look at numbers, I mean, we don't even think of that stuff, but they're there too. But I think that, from our experience in Oxford, like the growth, just the environment, the culture itself of bringing people together. I mean, it's like a dream playing football at Ole Miss. Like you can go anywhere and everybody's going to know your name. Everybody's going to support you. Everybody's going to have your back, and that's just special. Like you don't get that everywhere, especially where I'm from. Like I didn't experience that at all in my old school. And then coming here, it's just a family, and the state of Mississippi is special.
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, man, I think, like you said, Oxford is just an unbelievable town, man. I think you really just do it for the fans. This fan base is, in the past has been, let down several times, and then just being able to, like go out there and just wear Ole Miss across your chest just for them, for the little kids in the community. Like, you go out to eat or go to lunch or something like that, and you got little kids that's there just smiling ear to ear just to be able to see you. They might be too shy to come up to you and talk to you, but they're just smiling ear to ear just because they get to see your face. And like he said, you don't get that everywhere. And I was a hometown hero at my last school, and I'd walk into the mall or something like that, and people not even know who I am. And it's not like that in Oxford, and it's special.
Michael Katz, Daily Journal. You guys have won 10 games the last 2 years. That's only happened 10 times in Ole Miss history. What does that sort of history mean to you guys, and where this program's kind of come?
Yeah, this program's on the rise. They're going to continue to get better. And I think it's just a place where people really want to play and be a part of. And there's just a lot of excitement and momentum going for it. And, like I said, I think it's going to continue to improve and continue to be one of the best programs in the country.
Yeah, I think Coach Kiffin's a hell of a coach. And I think, he he does everything in his power to make Ole Miss a good football program, and he's done that. And I think, over the years to come, guys are want to come here. Just because, like you said, 10 wins in the last 2 seasons, I think, that draws guys' attentions. And, like I said, he's a great coach, and he has a way with players. So I think Ole Miss will be on the rise for many, many years.
We're going to grab the trophy. Hold on a second.
So wanted to ask real quick that 51-yard pass when you were fading to your left, Jackson. Lane said that was a pretty special throw. I guess from each of you guys' vantage point, can you kind of take us through that play?
Yeah. With this guy, you always got to stay alive no matter what, because he's always looking downfield. And I know he runs the ball a lot, but he's always looking downfield to his receivers, and he trusts his guys all the time. So I think we pretty much made eye contact, and I seen him pat the ball, and I knew he was going to throw it. So I knew it was going to be like across the field throw. So I just had to run under it and go get it.
Yeah, post snap, I knew that he was going to be there. I kind of got flushed out of the pocket, and he continued to work with me, and just thought I'd put it out there and see what happened, and he made a great play for me.
All the way in the back.
Carlo Brown, WCBI Sports. Jackson, for you specifically, you were one of the first guys, if not the first, to come out after the state game and say, "Hey, like I want to finish this. I want to finish what we started." I don't know if you were the head man of recruiting people to come back and play in the final game, but what was that recruitment process like and getting guys to opt in to finish in the bowl game?
I didn't feel like I had to recruit anybody. I felt like we were all on the same page. And like I said, like you get an opportunity to play football, the game that you love, like why would you not take that opportunity? And I think that when you go into something, you always want to make sure that you have no regrets about it. And I just saw it as another opportunity to go win a game, go win 10 games this year. We felt like we got snubbed from the playoff. And, when we saw who we were playing, like this was the same team that, took SMU to overtime. So I think we all just wanted to, make a statement that we should have been in there.
Last question right here.
Clayton Freeman, Florida Times. For Jackson, what does it mean right now to know that you're completing your Ole Miss career with the Gator Bowl all-time single game total yardage record? I mean, 80 years of Gator Bowl football, and you have that record now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think I didn't know that. So, just blessed to have the players around me that I do. I have the best teammates in the country and the best coaching staff who helps put us in position to go execute and make big plays. And I felt like we were in rhythm all night tonight. And it was a lot of fun, and this was a great event. It was an awesome bowl game, and we had a great time. So just really appreciative of the opportunity.
Did you feel like 400 yards might be in reach before the game, or was that just something that sort of grew over the course of the night?
I mean, you don't really think of that stuff before the game, and you just want to go out there and win. I think that's what it all comes down to.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all.